Hi everyone, welcome to Casual Watch Talk Sunday Social. Welcome to wait for everyone to join, but got a panel today to talk about the whatever YouTuber's talking about, the new Kith tag. But before we do that, let's do a wristwatch check. Pete, you're in the hot seat. Do you want to kick us off? What you're wearing?
Yep, I am wearing my. Well, I was until I took it off so I could show you. Chopard LUC World Timer.
Nice.
Yep, beautiful.
That's a beautiful watch.
So that's a new pickup, is it, Pete?
Had this for a couple of months, but I always like to hold a watch for a while before I go and like expose it to the world. So it has turned up on the odd like cheeky Instagram post or whatever, but I never do like a new watch alert, and like I said, I like to hold them for a little bit. So I've had it for a couple of months. First time it's appeared on YouTube.
Oh, it's
world premiere.
That I'm aware of.
Got it.
Oh, that I can remember.
You've got it in a nice rubber strap as well for the hot weather in Australia.
Well, it's not hot anymore. It was like 8 degrees or something yesterday, but I just love rubber straps, and
good.
Rubber strap is always the right answer.
Yeah, I agree. Todd, what are you wearing? Todd, Seiko Todd.
Seiko Todd. So, as is custom, I have two watches. The one I've been wearing all today is, speaking of collaborations, I was trying to come up with a collaboration idea. Oh, look at that. It's almost focusing.
Oh, there you go.
Nearly focusing. Let me get a little closer. Let's see if we'll do it. This is, not quite, I'll back it off, is a Hamilton LL Bean chronograph.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Like the 90s. There's been a long collaboration with Hamilton and LL Bean. I can think of maybe 14 approximate different watches that have been done over time. This is the only chronograph. It's a 7750 base chronograph, and it's really nice. This one was stored by Saks Fitness Watches, so the same one that did your Seiko. And for fun, here we got to have second. We have the Spinnaker 50 Phantoms.
Yeah.
With a ghostly, I say ghostly, counterweight on the back.
Very nice.
I do really like that one.
Now,
this conversation.
This is. I mean, obviously, the second one is a Paris watchmaker, so the collaboration is different than it would be with like Kith and what's going on with Heuer. But this is a very reasonably priced watch. Granted, it's only a Seiko, one of their generic Seiko movements in it, but I think it was released at $325, $350, and it's a real diver though. It is a real diver. It's like 200 meters, that whole 9 yards. Even though on the front it says no feet, but that's the part of the joke.
But like with a lot of collaborations, Todd, it's sold on the secondary market.
I don't know what they're going for on the secondary market. I know they because they're a small manufacturer. They do them in batches,
About double that, I think. Well, they were really? When they first came out. Okay. Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's not crazy, I guess.
Thomas, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing the Junie Johnson, the Seiko 5 Mac&Orange.
Oh, yeah.
It's Junior's in the audience. Very nice.
Nice.
Yeah, my Mac&Orange GMT. Matching my t-shirt and the backdrop of the room. So
very good. So it's sort of skeleton then, where you hold up against your shirt. Todd, what are you wearing? Todd V.
In with the theme of the collaboration, I think this would be like a collaboration. This is the NASA G-Shock.
Yeah.
So really enjoy wearing this one. It's fun to wear around to the different centers and get pictures when I can. But great watch, simple module, but a great watch.
Awesome. Before I do mine, let's see what the audience is saying. So Von Krull says, "I'm wearing my deep blue diver. Is that brand gone under or something? Because I remember those were all over the place, weren't they? Those deep blue watches.
They're still around, I think.
I think they're still kicking around, but just no one pays them any attention anymore.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Okay.
So there you go. So maybe that is a limited edition. Awesome. Okay. And then, I'm wearing. Oh God, I have to take it off. But I'm wearing my.
I didn't know they did a deep blue with the Salida movement.
I think they had decent specs, didn't they, at one time?
I thought they were Seiko movements, so that's interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Deep Blue watch. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Site's still active. So there you go. Cool. I'm wearing my.
I'm sorry, I interrupted. He got this with an SW200, and it was $200. That's a great price for a Swiss movement.
Wow, that's really good.
Whoa.
They still. I wonder if they did. Well, I wonder if maybe they did go out of business
because they couldn't afford to make those watches.
Yeah. Let's just have a look here. Yeah, they are. It looks like they're still active as a watch. Let's see if we can click on one and.
That's a great price. Yeah,
it's a great price.
Oh, look at that, $79 from $300. I wonder if they're just fire selling the stock off.
Wow.
Either that, or as I've said many times before, manufacturing a watch is pretty easy. It doesn't cost very much.
Yeah,
fair enough.
There you go. Yeah, look, 500 to 199. What's this bad boy got in it?
Wow.
Oh, that's NH35. Oh, okay.
What I thought they had. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so I am wearing, I think I'm last here. I am wearing my Bremont.
Ooh, a survivor so far of your watch purge.
Your cold,
purge.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's a purge.
Yes, it is.
It's a purge.
Maybe we'll do another episode on that one. But yes, it is. It has survived the very recent culling of the watches. I do actually really like this. I mean, I'm not, Bremont. I always think has a bit of I've had an interesting feelings about the brand, I'll say, during its life, but I do actually quite like this one. I've been wearing it on this Velcro because the metal strap on the metal bracelet is totally overpowers the watch. I need to put it back on so I can take some shots for the video that I'm doing, but it's like a ridiculous like oversized bracelet for what the watch head is. But anyway, okay, well, what we thought we would do this episode is start by talking about what everybody else is talking about, the new TAG Heuer watch, the new Kith, and then we thought we would talk about some other interesting fashion collabs, some other interesting watch collabs that have happened over the last couple of years. Let us know in the comment section if there's any interesting watch collabs, quirky ones or ones that you liked, and we'll make sure that we talk about those as well. But we have to start with the one that everybody's talking about, and that is the Kith TAG Heuer collab watch. I think there's like 15 of them, isn't there? The limited edition coming in at $1,500. Real quick, they are a recreation of the original Formula Ones, which I believe they started selling them in 1983, sold them right through to the early 90s. And now they've bought them back for a limited edition with Kith. Kith, if you're not aware, is a sort of like a streetwear brand, a bit more of a upmarket supreme, I would say. They do a lot of collabs. They retail fashion, but they also do a lot of collabs. I know them very famously from two fantastic G-Shocks that they did. One was a rose gold, the other one was another metal one, but had more of a rainbow hue to it, the way they heated the metal. But enough about that. Let's well, who has a strong feeling about this watch that they would like to talk about other than me? Pete, you've got to have a thought on this one. It's a tag in your wheelhouse here.
I think it's fine. I don't have a strong feeling about it. I have a strong feeling about other people's strong feelings about it. How's that?
Yeah.
I think this makes complete sense. I think it was released in a way. This is a watch designed for the same people that are buying a $25,000 Mario Kart Tourbillon from TAG.
Yeah.
And I think the people that are being critical of this watch don't understand brand positioning, and that TAG, a brand that wants to see themselves alongside, say, Omega, which is where they're heading with their chronographs, is never, ever going to sell a watch for a couple $100. It's just not going to happen. It would sink the entire brand direction. So this has to cost, $1,000 plus. It has to be what it is. And It's fine. I'm never going to buy it. It's way too small. It's a kid size. Flick Flacks are bigger. But I get why they did it. I get why it's positioned this way. I understand why it's priced this way. Yeah, I don't care. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, so I'll follow on from P. I mean, I'm the person that doesn't understand the brand positioning. Yeah, I mean, he said that they're trying to stay in the ballpark of Omega. I mean, Omega have went with the moon swatch, and
Swatch went with the moon
Swatch went with the moon swatch.
Went with the moon swatch.
Yeah,
not
okay,
Omega.
Swatch went with the moon swatch, but part of the Swatch group, Omega allowed them to use their design, and it elevated the sales of the moon swatch. The moon watch itself. And I would have thought that TAG releasing maybe a plastic watch, or this has parts of plastic on the bezel.
Some of them are plastic, yeah.
It has parts of plastic on the bezel, but I would have thought maybe releasing a lower priced watch. Maybe it's got a plastic strap, it's got a plastic bezel, but a lower priced watch in that sort of Blancpain, scuba, and moon swatch bracket category would bring more people to the brand, would bring etc., would bring more people to the brand to possibly buy the other tags in the brand, the Carreras, the glass boxes, the Monacos, the etc., the other things that they do.
I think it would have brought I agree with you, Thomas. It would have brought more people to the brand, but not the people that TAG wants.
Right, okay.
TAG wants people that will spend $1,500 on a plastic watch.
Right.
I think who put here? Kent just made the point. And that's probably where I'm at. I've been like, I am not the core customer. I love TAG Heuer. I really do. And I have since I was younger, because I was like, that's a brand in my mind. I think I've talked about it before, where it was like TAG Heuer and Rolex when I was younger. Like, these were watches that people who were successful were doing something, and they got that watch. I get what Pete's saying from a business school perspective. You're correct. Kith means nothing to me. And quite frankly, I'd rather it didn't say Kith on it where it does. Like, the fact that it says Kith Heuer really bothers me personally. That's just my personal. It means nothing to me, and actually lowers the value. And then I look at it and I'm like, if you're going to do a $1,500 watch, which I get, Pete, give me something that says it's worth my $1,500. Put like a Grand Seiko quality module in it, at least. Give me something where I'm like, I'm not just literally throwing away $1,400 on this watch, because I'd rather buy the used ones on eBay for $300 that say TAG Heuer and they're original
Formula Ones.
Yeah, I get that. Like, this one
which
really
helped save the company back in that day, right? The same way Swatch helped save, that whole group at the time during the quartz crisis. And I understand the Formula One as it was developed, because I grew up in that era. And if you came up with a modern version of that, I don't care about the collab or not, and something that's wearable at a decent price for whatever. I bet you that. What's that quartz movement? I mean, I know Pete's right. I'm not the right person either. But what's that quartz movement cost that they put in there? Is there anything special about it? Is that a $10 quartz movement?
$2.50.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's not a special. I mean, they haven't even.
Come on, if you're going to charge $1,500, like you said, Todd, put in something. They have access. I was just looking at LVMH, right? 75 different companies are part of that umbrella. Since you don't seem to have a Swatch equivalent that you could release low cost things that can pair, from a corporate standpoint, that work well. But give me something for that $1,500. Make it a little bit bigger, and give me a nice quartz movement, and maybe to me, then it gets closer. That's what.
Yeah. And again, I think they're almost avoiding the idea of value for money. This is not I mean that. They are the way and I'm sort of harping on this, like a lot of people that discover something new and then you can't escape it. You know, I discovered this article talking about how you position luxury brands, and luxury and premium, I think it is. Yeah, luxury and premium are at polar opposites. Premium is all about selling you a product where there's value, and you can go through the specs and you can add it all up, and you can convince yourself you were smart to sell them, buy the product. Luxury is the antithesis of that. It's about just pure feeling, and are you prepared to spend $1,500 on that feeling? And that's why the Moon Swatch is marketed as a luxury watch. It kind of is. They're not trying to convince you it's worth the money. They're just saying, give us this much, you know, the feeling is worth $200 or $400. And that's exactly what TAG is saying here.
It is.
They're saying the movement's irrelevant.
Yeah.
It is for $200 or $400, not for $1,500. I just don't get it. You're right. I know, Pete, the equation is not going to work in my mathematical mind, but still, it just seems crazy to me.
This reminds me of like, what is it? The cost of like an Hermes belt buckle. Like it's nothing, right? It's just, but they cost a fortune, don't they?
Yeah. And
Well,
going back to Kent Daigle's point about them being a clothing brand that sell trainers and clothes for thousands, you know, I mean, I do remember a Bathing Ape, which is another sort of streetwear brand, doing a G-Shock, which costs about £800, you know, something like that. So they've done several, yeah,
and Kith have done three G-Shocks before this as well. In fact, I would argue their Rose Gold one is the best G-Shock collab that was ever done, their Kith one, because it was the metal 6900 one with Rose Gold before, and G-Shock actually made a Rose Gold Square after that, and a Rose Gold Casio after that. But yeah, so anyway, I'm obviously not offended by it because I actually bought this one yesterday. So
at least it's metal.
Yes. So I bought this one yesterday. The reason that I'm not showing it here is because you can't actually sell them tomorrow. That you can't actually collect one until tomorrow. And this is actually what I think TAG did better than the Moon Swatch, is that they had stuff that they could show. That I went into a TAG store in Orlando, totally just asking them whether they'd seen one. I was just interested because I knew we were going to talk about it. I just wanted to ask them if they'd seen one, and they came out and were like, actually, we've got these three. These are three samples that we can show you. And they kept them in the back, and they were waiting for people to come in and ask for them. And coincidentally, that was 5 minutes after I'd been in the Swatch store to ask about the Snoopy Moon phase, and I was the second person in the Swatch store to ask for the Snoopy Moon phase, and they're like, "No, we haven't got them." And I said, "Have you seen any of them?" And they're like, "We have had the odd one in." Is what they, and this is the flagship Swatch store in Orlando, the newest Swatch store in the whole of the US, and they haven't got the Snoopy Moon phase even even to show you. So that's one thing that I think, granted. The costs are off. I mean, there's $1,500 for one of these Kith ones. Now, the reason that I bought one is because, well, first of all, I'm keeping a promise to myself from when I was 8 years old that I would buy one of these when I was older. So I'm keeping that promise. But also, my very loving wife. So they bought them out, and they're too small. They're like ridiculously small. Like whoever was in that conversation in that room of, we should bring this watch back and make it modern, and nobody in that room stood up and was like, bit small that. So it's like why everybody drives SUVs now. Like a man's watch is not 35 mil, and it looks every bit 35 mil. It looks like a flick flack watch, honestly. But anyway, my wife tried it on, and then she looked at me and she said those words. She was like, "If you want to get it, I will wear it." Like, so I mean, That's love for you there, because she just saw my heart sank when I
Oh,
tried it on, because I was like, oh, this is my childhood watch, which it was my childhood watch,
yeah.
and the one that I always wanted. I tried it on, and it's like it's anyway. So that's why we ended up getting one. Also, so I can do a review on here as well. Of course, hopefully I can be one of the first to get a review out.
You go back to being childhood watch, and you can buy the original ones on eBay for about $300.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Well, exactly. And actually, I like the Kith. I like the Kith brand, and I would argue actually
Right.
that the tag, the way that Tag has always had Tag Heuer there, is the most mismatched logo of any luxury watch product. The
Okay.
Tag and the Heuer being two different fonts has always looked ridiculous. They've never made it look good. I would say that the way that the Kith is done in the block font and the Heuer actually, as a logo, looks better than the Tag Heuer logo does. So I actually think it looks quite good, and it does look. I mean, it's not the bracelet. They've kept the bracelet like authentic. It's a press clasp. It's got a little bit of jangle to it. You're right. I wouldn't have paid it for the plastic one, but because they had this one in store, so we'll all find out tomorrow anyway. I mean, I did have a play with it in the store, so I do know what it's like, but I'll be picking it up tomorrow, hopefully, when the Tag store opens. And I think they're doing that. They're releasing them tomorrow because of it. Is it the Miami Grand Prix or something? They're doing a tie-in.
It's coming in.
Yeah.
Today, I'm missing the race right now, and my wife's going to sit there and pretend like she doesn't know who won while I watch it and replay, and it irritates me when she sits there with a smile, knowing who won.
Yeah, so a lot of people, I know a few people are saying that Kith is like supreme. They're like that in the terms that they do drops, but I think they're actually more of an upmarket, more.
Sounds like it.
Yeah,
I've
more
never heard of them, but it sounds like they are. Yeah, it sounds like they're a very market like
Hodinkee
a
did a
bathing
tease,
ape,
didn't they?
and
Yeah, they teased it, didn't they? Because they did a talk in watches with the founder of Kith.
that was a total promotional. I think that was a totally promotional video saying he collected a lot of Tag Formula Ones, and that was just in the pipeline for a spruik, I think.
Yeah, I think actually, yeah, if you've got like a 6-inch wrist, or if you've got smaller wrists, it would look okay, I think. But I think it would have been appealed to more people, because the Tag seems to be like a race to the bottom, doesn't it, in terms of sizing for some reason. They're having like a complete pendulum swing back from the big watches down to like, how small can we possibly get away with?
Yeah, the chronograph,
I think
that glass box seemed small when I put it on. Is it a 39? I can't remember, but it still looked
and the solargraph. I would have bought that solargraph, but it looks tiny for a 40 mil.
Yeah, I was actually wearing the glass box at a Tag event in the city, and I think it's a 38 or 39. And one of the staff came over, saw it on my wrist, and said, "Oh, I didn't know they made this in 36."
It does. It does feel small when you put it on. It does feel small. It's a beautiful watch. Beautiful watch.
And what's funny about the Tag, the Kith Tag, is they've done the plastic one, and it is plastic. It's a R-Night or something they're calling it, but
bioceramic.
My wife tried it on, and the strap is huge on it. It stuck out like an extra inch or something on her wrist, and I didn't realize that they were meant to be cut down. They're like the original ones, you were supposed to cut them down, but who's gonna cut like one of those down? Like, I don't know whether.
Yeah, I think
like Philippe Aquino, isn't it?
What for me the most interesting thing about this limited release is that it's a limited release, and then the question is there something else coming later? And I think that's where the comparison with the Moon Swatch kind of falls apart. Swatch will sell more moon swatches today around the world than there will ever be Kith Heuers. So it's kind of pretty easy for them to get it right. make 1,500 watches, distribute them, have them in place, tell people they're available. It's micro brand stuff. So it's for me, the question is, will there be one that comes later? And if there's one that comes later, what will that look like? Like if they went with 35 mils, that would just be insane.
What's your opinion, Pete, on them selling a box set? Which, I mean, each watch costs $1,500. Sorry, yeah, $1,500. They sell a box set of 10 for $18,000. So you're paying $3,000 for this box.
No, you're paying $3,000 for the ability to have all 10. The way they're doing the release is some are going to some shops, some are going to other shops. I think there's only one of the watches which is shared. I think what they're saying here is essentially the only way of getting all 10 is to buy this box. So what you're doing is, sorry.
Sorry, I was just agreeing with you because the TAG Heuer store in Orlando said they only will have the blue, green, and then the one I bought with the sand dial.
Yeah, and when you imagine that'll sell out in a day, and then there'll be a Kith store somewhere else that will only have one or two, and it probably won't even be in Orlando, that it will sell its 3 in a day. And so the only way you could get that collection, and if you're like, nothing screams more than this is a collectible more than that. Yeah,
right.
That's a great point, actually. Yeah, because they did say they were only going to have that. Because I was like, oh, do you have all of the models? And in fact, I only thought they were doing one metal one, but clearly there's 3 here.
I'm hoping that the market goes crazy for these, and then the aftermarket's going to get flooded with the ones I actually like, because I had a couple that I've sold, and I really want one back. The ones that look like a quality watch, I want those. I want one of those back in my collection.
Yeah. Do you know what's interesting actually about the Kith G-Shocks? Still very much they're hard to get hold of. So even on eBay and stuff, this was the original kit, and it's probably been out like 3 or 4 years. See, that's still 1,500. They're still you can get them. They've never gone lower than what they originally were sold for. They've always gone. I've never seen one that's less, and that's very similar packaging. It had 2 straps with it.
So we have the additional potential problem of this being a flipper watch. So the market will sell out immediately.
Already.
People will put them.
Oh, yeah.
Like Pete said, they'll be gone in a day.
People have already probably done what I've done, which is take the receipt, and they've actually already posted them on eBay. So if you look here, look, 1,200
for a plastic watch.
1,500. So there's actually somebody has appeared to have. I don't know how they've got one in hand unless they've took that in the tag store, because
you got the coloured one there for 4,000. The one further up, you just passed.
There's the whole thing, 25 grand for all 10.
4,000. Wow.
Get out of here.
Well,
I suppose order confirmed.
Yeah.
Why is somebody selling it for $1,500? That doesn't make sense either.
That's not a smart person. Maybe that's a dealer.
Well, you will be able to buy them online, though. I think you can actually buy them. I mean, they'll drop online and probably sell out straight away. But even TAG is selling. There is, I think maybe you can't. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to go at 11 tomorrow and hopefully pick this up and then try and get the. It won't be a review, obviously, because I won't have time to like fully review it. But I will certainly do like a first impressions type video as fast as I can.
Keep an eye on Sam's eBay store. It'll be 2,500.
Oh yeah, this will jump to eBay for about 2 weeks.
No, my wife, honestly,
unless Helen wants it, unless she wants it,
we'll keep it. I'll keep it for her. I mean, that's the frame. I wish I could wear it.
Yeah, I must admit, I am curious how everyone's focusing on this being plastic and like if only it was steel. But AliExpress and Spaghetti have shown us that you can sell a $15 steel watch. So why? I'm really fascinated. Why do people have this fixation? given that we know the actual price difference is cents, why are people saying I'll spend thousands of dollars on steel but not on plastic when the actual price difference is irrelevant?
Because the plastic one feels like a Happy Meal toy.
Yeah.
So interestingly, no, I think it's fascinating because we're back to it's all about the feels.
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
all about feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, I've thought from the beginning that this is almost like an emperor's new clothes kind of thing. If you were of the generation where this watch was what you were aspiring to, it doesn't even matter what the price point is. You were clamoring for it. Yeah.
And I was just looking at the Kith website. It's coming from a place that will sell me a $1,500 hoodie.
Yeah, I know.
They're actually making hoodies with the Kith Heuer on it. They're actually going to and they're making the original tag baseball caps as well.
Yeah.
But with Kith
and so it's possible that hoodie will cost more than the watch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it'll fit you though, unlike the watch. So
yeah,
the hoodie might last longer.
Yeah, if we go to the actually I would argue that the actual clothing looks quite good. I think. Oh, there we go.
Oh wait, I like the jacket.
Yeah, the jacket's cool. It's got
what is that? $2,500.
That one is. Oh, it's actually. I bet you it probably is, isn't it? They haven't. Oh, 1,000. There you go.
Oh, okay.
It's less expensive.
And then you've got the original tag. I like the way they've done this. Actually, the original tag cap, but they put the Kith on it. Yeah, I'm all about this. I like this collab. But anyway, I wish to watch. That's the only crime of it. That's the thing that annoys me the most is that it's just too small for me to wear because I think I probably would wear it.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. Well, okay. We've probably done that to death. Unless anybody, have we got any more? Is anybody making any comments about this in the? Yeah, I've never. Von Krull saying I've never. This is the thing. They have. There's a triangle on it where to cut, but if you've ever tried to cut a normal strap, it's usually it. I've never been able to successfully cut a strap down, a rubber strap, or a NATO for that matter.
At least with a NATO, you can smooth it out with a lighter. You know, get the end.
Yes, that's true. Oh, Thomas, thank you for gifting some memberships. Oh no! Oh,
no, just my membership message.
Oh yes, please join. You gifted the last time, didn't you? I haven't yet for it. Yes, please join for the exclusive members content. Okay, right. Well, let's talk about some other interesting collabs that have happened in the past. I know we had a few sent through to us. So first off, let me just see if we got one that came in on the chat already was the Seiko rowing blazers, which is, I guess, another fashion collab. I don't know if I love these. What Seiko Todd, was this one you were talking about as well, or?
No, somebody else brought it up, but I've always been a fan of the Rowing Blazers collaboration. I'm not a Rowing Blazers person necessarily, but I thought that they did a really good job with the color scheme and the nods to, you know, what Rowing Blazers originated, which was building, you know, making clothing for rowing, I believe. And so I thought it was a pretty good collab, and the prices were reasonable. And you can get these. You can just go out and get these. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought these were really good as well. And again, they didn't niggle me this one because the price budget is reasonable.
Yeah, they
weren't going. It seems like it's only like $100 premium, right, for it versus the regular watch.
The regular Seiko 5, yeah. I think it's like, what are they, $450?
Oh, 500, yeah, something like
500
that.
US, okay.
And Zodiac also did a Rowing Blazers, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
Zodiac did one.
See, that's another. I must be. I'm just old now. Apparently, I'm old. These brands mean nothing to me. That's a good looking watch.
That is a good looking watch.
I don't know Rowing Blazers.
I don't know them.
Yeah, are they?
I assume they were like a British thing, but apparently they're out of New York, aren't they, or something?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know them.
I know them to the extent that they did a collab with Seiko. So
So we're
Yeah,
all
I-
old. It's cool. It's good.
All
and
right.
and they have a very specific clientele, I would say, as well.
Mhm.
Yes. And then I'm trying to think. Obviously, Kith had done the other G-Shock. Let me just see who else. Let's see if we've got any suggestions from the panel. Any other collabs that we think?
Yeah, I
is...
mean, there've been a couple of other Seiko collabs. I mean, there've been
Yeah.
the Seiko 62 Mass Beams collab, which is a Japanese clothing brand, and they did 300 pieces of their 62 Mass, and they're selling now on the secondary market for between €6,000 and €7,500 used.
What
Mhm.
was the brand called?
That was an
B-
expensive watch to
Oh,
begin
yeah.
with. Yeah, that was.
BEAMS.
Oh, Beams.
I'm gonna put one up because Kent's right on this one. The Bruce Lee one. I love that Seiko Bruce Lee one.
Oh,
I actually wanted that one.
Yeah.
But see, I was a Bruce Lee fan when I was a kid, of course. Just like, but the price wasn't crazy. I think they were just limited.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, it was limited, I think, because there's one on eBay for 700.
Yeah.
Um,
That was a cool watch.
yeah.
And it wasn't crazy price when it came out.
No.
Especially that
Must be-
yellow
I-
the yellow and black NATO. Like just like his suit is like, oh, that's just killer. Sorry,
Mhm.
They
Pete, go
did
ahead.
yeah, they did a
Oh,
really.
I was going to say,
design.
sticking with clothing collabs, again, a brand I have no interest in, but I thought the Moser Undefeated Streamliner was really good.
Right, yeah.
Well, anything by Moser is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
What's the
Undefeated
cost?
Actually,
clothing brand, isn't it? Yeah.
oh, it's going to be hideously expensive, but
It's already an expensive watch. Oh,
Yeah.
50,000.
Oh yeah,
Cool
has
watch.
G-Shock done an undefeated watch? I've noticed. I recognise that logo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go.
There
Yeah,
we
I
go,
mean,
okay.
the Streamline is an awesome watch, an awesome chronograph.
Yeah.
I must admit, I always find the Streamliner a bit dull. So I think recently they've been doing some collabs and things to like give it some personality. So I like the collabs with the Streamliner.
Okay, so Orange Hand is saying the Deuce Ex Machina Breitling. Let's have a look at that one.
Hmm.
Oh, that's a killer watch.
Yeah, the top time. That was a great one.
Oh yeah, that's a great watch.
Let's have a look at that one. Deuce Ex Machina. Okay.
That's actually
So
the latest one. They've
Oh,
done two.
Who is this brand? Are they a surfing brand or only it's a motorbike?
No, they're a motorbike customizing company out of Sydney.
Okay.
I got a relative that used to work there. Yeah, so they specialize in customizing motorbikes for people like us. Men in their 40s with too much money and
Yeah, I was not familiar with them. So they do these surfboard attachments, do they? For
all sorts of things. Yeah. You want to, they do all sorts of things.
Yeah,
top
that
time
one's
they
a
did-
good looking watch.
Yeah, the top time they did with the Lightning Bolt second hand was lovely, I thought.
Yeah, it's you've made it when Sue just rip you off, and I think
Yeah,
Sue just did a rip-off version of it.
They did.
Okay, there you
Sue
go.
just did, yeah. You're right, Pete. Yeah.
I can't see the let me just see. I can't seem to find the other oh, was it oh no, was it this? It wasn't this one? No.
Yeah, in a different colorway. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
one's fun
they
too.
did that in a couple of different colors.
Okay.
The
Awesome.
strap looks great with that color combination.
Yeah, I mean Breitling do a lot of collabs, don't they? Like the Pan Am one was the Pan Am Navitimer.
Yeah, I like the Pan Am a lot.
Yeah. Breitling was, until recently, Breitling was the poster child of bad collabs. I don't know if there's ever been, and I'm saying this as a Breitling fan, I don't know if there's ever been a worse collab than Breitling and Bentley. But
Oh yeah.
Right.
all their recent stuff
Not a
is
fan.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's
Breitling.
expensive though. I tried this on when I was at Dean's shop in St. St. Thomas, and it's a beautiful watch. Just 10 grand is too much.
Yeah,
You want it 20% cheaper, Todd?
Why are you selling? Are you selling?
No. What I would say is have a holiday in Australia and walk
Oh.
into a dealer, pay full price, don't negotiate anything, and you're still getting it 20% less than if you buy it in the US.
That's right, because of the
Really?
Australian dollar. Oh yeah, those are
there's
awful.
just Bentley pricing in America is weird, but the old Breitling for Bentleys are terrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah, there's the
49 millimeters.
These, they're epic. They are huge. The titanium one.
Huge.
Yeah,
and I think there's such an imbalance that you couldn't even, and because they're both kind of luxury, there's no irony involved in the imbalance here.
Mm-hmm.
You very much had one actual high-end luxury brand and another one that was trying to be high-end luxury, and it was obvious which was which.
Yes. I tried I reviewed the review is still on the channel. I reviewed the titanium one, and I think that's the only way that that watch would be wearable. I can't imagine it in steel. It would have been extremely heavy, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going back to Seiko. There's another one with a Japanese clothing brand called Nano Universe, which is a Japanese domestic market JDM one, and that was I think it was a Seiko 5, but they just did 300 or 500 pieces of each watch, and sort of equivalent of $235 these days, which is really good.
These ones, it looks like they've got quite a few on this watch. I'm not affiliated with this website, but it looks like they've got quite a few Nano Universe ones. Yeah, and the the Citizen.
That's saying something when Seiko does a limited edition of under 4,000. So that's impressive.
300 is unheard of.
I don't even know. Didn't even know they did that.
Well, that'd be one per AD in Japan. Seriously, that's probably how they did it.
Okay.
Really?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I've always liked these Montbell. That's a Japanese. I think that's a Japanese outdoor brand, isn't it? Montbell. They're like a Columbia or something along those lines. But they've done quite a few collabs with Citizen, and they've always looked awesome.
It's a handsome
Right.
watch.
That's a great looking watch.
It is a great look. There's a little bit of Gerard Perregaux there, I think. I like it.
Does look like a GP, doesn't it? Yeah.
Doesn't it look like one of theirs? Yeah, especially with the bracelet fits to me. But
yeah, there's the black version, and then
reasonably priced. I mean, that's great to me. That's fantastic. I would not mind wearing that watch.
Yeah, they've done this type as well.
I put one in the chat too there to look at.
That's cool.
Sam.
I think there's the greatest collab of all time, though, that we're missing, which is Rolex and Winn-Dixie trucks.
I thought you were going with
I'll have to look.
Rolex and Domino's.
No, even worse than Domino's.
I just put your hang on, Todd. Sorry, it must have opened in a different window.
I mean, they've done a Rolex and Honda did one, didn't they? And
there you go.
Winn-Dixie truck sounds even better.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. So I want to get one of these one day. The prices, especially on the used market, are really good, and they have different colorways. They have one that's more yellow, which is really cool, and they have a redder one that's a little bit more red. But it's a GP, right? So here's the oldest watchmaker in existence continuously, Gerard Perregaux. And the movement, I think, is a 7750 base movement on these chronos, which is fine. But I just like the dials, what they've done with them. The size is right. Of the Ferrari, to me, in the dated 430, Pete, the Ferrari, I think we were talking about, in our chat, the Ferrari collaborations oftentimes are horrible.
Yeah.
But this, I thought the way they've done it with GP, I thought is pretty good.
And Panerai did the Ferrari collaboration, didn't they?
Mhm.
And
They did.
they tanked like anything. They just couldn't sell them.
Yeah, there's a lot of
There's
these
your
on
Winn-Dixie.
24.
Oh boy.
See,
That is bad.
Winn-Dixie is a supermarket in the U.S.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw this. That's actually good looking. I like that.
That giant logo on it is terrible.
Giant. Well, yeah, but hey, you're gonna wear how do you get a Rolex to be in your face? An Air King Rolex to be in your face? This is how you do it.
Yeah.
Years safe maintenance. Wow.
Yeah, maybe it was for the truck. Maybe it was actually for the trucking company there. Maybe it was for the
The
Winn-Dixie.
supermarkets may have their own trucking offshoot or something like that. They're a huge supermarket chain in the U.S. I mean, really, really big. So,
Wow.
Yeah, they
cool. I
owned,
didn't know
by,
about that
owned
one.
by Kroger, are they now? Or
Did they get sold? I get confused. It's so hard to keep track.
yeah, I don't think I've seen a Winn-Dixie for a while. But anyway,
But that's back when Rolex would do custom dials. But those are award watches. So I would argue that's different. I have a Seiko award watch here with Sunkist. So they put the Sunkist logo on the dial. I bought it for $79. It was new in box. I couldn't resist it. That somebody probably got as an award, stuck it in a drawer, and luckily the battery didn't leak everywhere. I put a new battery in it, thing fired right up, and so I've got it just because I think it's interesting. But yeah, you get the award. In fact, Seiko has a whole department. I've talked to the guy in New York that they will do batches of custom dials for you. You can do one, or you can do 100 or more, 500 custom dials for whatever you want to do. They do it a lot. They do a lot of that work, custom work.
Oh, Michael said there's a Winn-Dixie store in Orlando.
Wow.
I don't remember.
Really?
I'll have to go for a little drive around and see. I thought it was all Publix. I thought everything had been taken over by Publix where we live.
546 stores as of today. Okay.
I mean, some of the most horrible recent ones I can think of are the Oris Kermit, the frog one they did, and those horrible Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Marvel ones, the Spider-Man, the Spider-Man, and what was the other one? The
Black Panther.
Black Panther. That was it.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, it only took Ed Sheeran and John Mayer to do the Talking Watches video, and then end up going and buying one of the Spider-Man ones.
Yeah, well, and considering that was like it was like a stealth promote for the Ed Sheeran watch, and they ended up gushing about the AP more than they did the G-Shock.
Yeah.
Apparently, that Winn-Dixie is only 30 minutes away from me, so I will have to go. Well, that's cool, isn't it? That's
interesting.
Yeah, I think the problem with these watches for people like us is they're not made for people like us.
Yeah,
they're made for people like Ed Sheeran and who sits around and goes, $250,000 for a watch that will only be offered to me anyway. Why not?
Why not?
It's just these watches are so hard to assess because they're just not for us.
Yeah,
right. It's like a custom built Ferrari that somebody buys, and it's art, it's amazing, and it's not us.
Yeah.
Or any normal human being.
Cool. Pete, you sent through another one. Let's have a look at this one.
Yeah, I love these. I'm going to murder the Japanese architect's name. He's done a couple of them. Tado Ando, I think. He's a Japanese architect who does a series of, Bulgari does a couple of collabs with architects. And they did that all mirrored one as well. But yeah, I just love all their stuff.
This is quite good. That is really nice. Now, what does it cost? That movement, the Bulgari movement they use is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The movement is just stunning.
If I remember rightly, it wasn't. I'm scanning down to the end of the docket. It wasn't. They got 18 grand US, which is about a little bit more than a normal, but not a great deal more.
That's not bad.
There's that other company, Alex, wasn't there? ALYX, that AP did a collaboration with. I don't know whether they were a clothing brand. But they did a horrendous full gold
Oh yeah,
chronograph.
that was brutal. That one, yeah.
It was horrendous. Yeah, but again, like Pete says, it's for the people who, just think, oh, I'm going to be the only one who's going to get one of these, and I've got loads of money to spend, and
but that looks fake, doesn't it? It looks like they've purposely made a fake.
It
does.
Or it's like a sales sample where it's like, oh, this is a blank dial, but imagine what you could do with it.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, this is not any good. It does look like an AliExpress version of the watch.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
Spaghetti Schematti 2.0.
Yeah.
It is
Integrated bracelet that rips out your arm hair. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah.
For some reason, this GQ thinks I need a vitamin-rich exfoliating and hydrating tonic, which is or a toner.
Anyway, maybe you do.
But then again, we can go back to and analyze the Ed Sheeran G-Shock and the Ben Clymer G-Shock. I mean, they're G-Shocks. I mean, lots of people love G-Shocks, but they've tanked, haven't they? They just
flopped.
Yeah.
So I'm just putting together a review. Will probably be out tomorrow or this week about the new titanium square. And I bought it on Hodinkee because they said exclusive, and it isn't exclusive. It's just that they're a JDM model, so they're selling them exclusive. But it's a really cool watch. But I talked about the Ben Clymer version and the Ed Sheeran version. I still get emails about those watches. I'm amazed by it. I'm amazed that I still get emailed. I got one like a couple of days ago. Oh, get them while they're still left, the Ben watch. I mean, they must have. I mean, that watch must have absolutely tanked. Because remember, like, Hodinkee could make any G-Shock any way, however they wanted, and they would sell out within 24 hours.
Yeah.
And still readily available. Well, let's actually have a look.
But does that say more about Hodinkee than G-Shock?
Yeah.
Does that say more about where Hodinkee's headed?
It has nothing to do with G-Shock.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Still buy it now. Buy now the Ed Sheeran watch. I mean, that's unheard of, isn't it, for a collab?
Yeah.
I mean, that one you've got, Todd. I mean, they came back brief. They restocked those. They did a second run of them, and they sold out straight away.
Yeah.
But
so it has nothing to do with G-Shock. There's two things that I think, especially with the Ed Sheeran one. One, there's a pushback against Hodinkee, and two, it wasn't the right target audience for that release at that price point. I mean, the target audience would have been better with the Kith Heuers than that. Than that watch.
Let me just go. Yeah, look here. Ad. So they've got the Ed Sheeran one back in stock. What I thought was sneaky, and what I included in my video when I did the Ben watch was that when they released this, when you clicked on the Ed Sheeran one, it said out of stock. So I think it was to make speculation and conjecture on my part that it was to make people think, oh, this one might sell out quick as well because the other two. Because I think this online ceramic or something it's called. See, that's was a collab with Hodinkee, wasn't it, as well? And they've still got they're still available.
That's pretty cool.
I can't help but think that this is primarily a Hodinkee pushback, that people are just over it. Yeah. I think that, I'm not sure if they did enough work positioning Ed Sheeran as a watch guy before they did the watch.
Yeah,
I think if they released that now, after they'd done a lot of the talking watches after then, maybe that had more traction. And I think Ben Clymer, the person, is perhaps not well received by people buying $195 watches.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting. I think it's going to be an interesting time for Hodinkee, hasn't it? I mean, people have been predicting their demise for a while now, but they still seem to be. I guess
There was a YouTuber recently, I think the guy that used to be on with Federico. I forgot his name.
Oh yeah, John.
John P. John P.
I think he just did a video talking about how word in the industry is that Hodinkee's about to go belly up. I think that's probably massively over the top, but
the reports
you only have to
stated.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you only have to look at their About Us page, and like the number of people that they've cut is ridiculous. They've cut so many people, and they're just not selling watches like they were, and their traffic numbers are way down on what they were. So
yeah, I mean, Hodinkee, the actual brand, I mean, that's got value, hasn't it? As like a magazine sort of online thing, like somebody like Condé Nast or somebody could buy them, or somebody,
right.
Like a magazine.
I have a hard copy of their magazine.
Well, someone like LVMH Venture Capital, they have bought them.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
When did that
Bought
happen?
them a couple of years ago.
Oh, I thought they just I thought they were just investors. They actually bought the whole.
No, they didn't buy the whole thing. They didn't buy the whole thing. They don't own it.
Oh, they just put them. That's where they got the injection from, the cash injection to grow out the.
But I mean, they injected something like 40 or 50 million US, I believe. So,
wow,
that's good.
I hope their insurance company stays in place, because I like the watch insurance. It's a little pricey, but it's simple.
I don't think it's going anywhere. I think they'll shrink back to something.
Yeah, they're offering some killer deals on their. They're always offering like $500 or $1,000 off their pre-owned stuff. I think they actually went big and bought a lot of Rolexes at the height of the market. I think that's where when they got that money, they overspent massively on pre-owned Rolex.
Yeah, I think buying Crown and Caliber, and then Crown and Caliber has become a bit of a millstone around their neck.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. Yeah. Yeah, very interesting. Awesome. Well, that was a cool discussion. Thanks everyone in the audience for being so active. Very much appreciated. Did we miss any?
Just one last thing from Orange Hand mentions. Does the Tiffany Nautilus count as a collaboration? If so, it'd be the most expensive. I don't really think that. Tiffany have done things with Cartier, with Rolex, with lots of other brands.
Patek's, didn't they? They've had for like decades. I mean, they don't do it anymore, but for decades they did co-branded Patek, didn't they?
Yeah. So I don't know whether that really counts. I mean,
it's not like a one-off drop, is it? It's not like it was not like a collab. I mean, I suppose that one was a kind of one-off, wasn't it? That
it was. Yeah, that one-off, that Nautilus. Yeah.
Chubb, so apparently the insurance is backed by Chubb.
Yeah,
that's good to know. Chubb's good. Probably why the insurance is so easy to operate.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next week on Casual Watch Talk Live.
It's your channel, Sam.
Casual collaboration.
Yeah, speaking of that, guys, if for some reason my views on my reviews have been a bit all over the place, if you are like regular viewers of the channel and you've got any opinions on any of the reviews that haven't done that well recently, and you think, oh, it's because I'm doing something wrong, or I should be doing something else, or you'd like to see more, let me know on email, thecasualwatchreviewer@gmail.com, because I'm tearing my hair out a bit trying to work out what direction to take the reviews in, because they take so long to do that. I want to make sure that I'm at least providing the audience with something they want to watch. It seems that the last couple of not done too well. So any feedback very much appreciated. So anyway, thanks everyone, and we'll see you next time.